Hello and welcome to this Friday weekly webinar. Today to talk about mainstreaming of millets for nutrition and health benefits. We have with us Dr. Kommi Kalpana ma'am, who is professor in sports nutrition, Faculty of Sports, Manavrachna International Institute of Research, Faridabad. I heartily welcome you ma'am. आपका बहुत स्वागत है इस प्रोग्राम में.
Thank
We
you, Dr.
also We also have with us Communication and Documentation Officer of MDNIY, मोहम्मद तैयब आलम sir with us. आपका भी बहुत स्वागत है सर इस कार्यक्रम में. As for the tradition of our institute, let us start the program with prayer. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै. ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. It is a matter of great pleasure that Dr. Kommi Kalpana ma'am is with us today to talk about mainstreaming of millets for nutrition and health benefits. I have once again welcome you ma'am to this platform. आपका बहुत धन्यवाद हमारे सभी दर्शकों को इसके बारे में जानकारी देने के लिए. और इसके साथ ही साथ मैं स्वागत करती हूँ हमारे संस्थान के संचार एवं प्रलेखन अधिकारी मोहम्मद तैयब आलम सर का भी, जो कि अपनी व्यस्तताओं के बावजूद इस कार्यक्रम में हमारे साथ मौजूद हैं. और अब मैं अनुरोध करूंगी तैयब सर से कि आगे की कार्रवाई पूरी करें.
Thank you, Dr. Vandana. Good evening, everyone. Respected Dr. Kommi Kalpana ma'am is a professor in sports nutrition, Manavrachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Delhi NCR. Dr. Kalpana ma'am has more than 16 years of research and academic experience in sports and clinical nutrition aspects. Ma'am has worked with reputed institutions such as National Institute of Nutrition, Sports Authority of India, National Institute of Sports, Polina Gopichand Badminton Foundation, Acharya Enjiranga Agriculture University, and many more in different capacities. Ma'am has published more than 30 research papers, among 12 hours on millets only, in national and international journals of repute. Dr. Kalpana is involved as a member in academic councils and was a resource person and a part of conducting national and international conferences, seminar and workshop. Ma'am is a reviewer of more than 100 reputed scientific journals. She has a rich experience of working with Olympic, Commonwealth, Asian Games, and other international and national bodies. Ma'am is pioneer in developing millet-based products and carrying out in vivo studies, supplementation of millets to understand their effects on growth, morbidity, and micronutrient status of children. Ma'am's focus area of research is hydration, sports nutrition, dietary supplements, and millets. Today's topic, mainstreaming of millets for nutrition and health benefit, is extremely important as the year 2023 has been declared International Year of Millets by United Nations. The Government of India is also promoting millets through various schemes to attain health, nutrition, economic and environmental benefits. Thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation for the weekly webinar, which is popular event for social media friends, students and staff and faculty of the institute. With these few words, now I would like to invite today's esteemed speaker, respected Dr. Kommi Kalpana ma'am, to elaborate on today's topic, mainstreaming of millets for nutrition and health benefits. Ma'am.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, Dr. Vandana. It's a pleasure for me to be here on this platform where eminent personalities have shared their views. So I thank Moraji Desai National Institute of Yoga and Ayush and Dr. Vandana and Dr. Tayeb, sir. So thank you very much for the opportunity. I will be sharing the PPT now.
There's a technical glitch. We are sorry for that. The guest speaker is rejoining. Kindly stay with us.
Yes, I'm extremely sorry for the technical glitch.
No
I'm
issue.
sharing. Yeah, I'm sharing the PPT. Is it visible to you now?
Not yet, ma'am.
Yeah. Now?
Yes, ma'am. The screen is visible. Yes,
Yeah.
it is open. You can continue, ma'am.
Yeah. Today's topic is on mainstreaming of millets for nutrition, health, and sports performance. As rightly said by Sir, it's a need of the hour. We need to know about our millets and how it is going to benefit our health, or what are the nutritional composition, and how to bring back these millets to our nutrition plate. These aspects definitely we should know and we should implement having in our nutrition plate. So why millets are very important, or why we have to include millets in our diet. Nutrition plays a critical role in maintaining health, thereby nations human resources. Healthier citizens exhibit high working capacities, in turn leads to more economic output, increased income, reduced poverty, and better lifestyles. So malnutrition is a serious public health concern in developing as well as developed countries. So for that, nutrition plays a greater role in maintaining the health and work performance of humankind. So India, we are combating with the triple burden of malnutrition. One is undernutrition, the other one is overnutrition, and third one is micronutrients. So malnutrition not only refers to excess intakes, it also refers to deficiencies and imbalances in a person's intake of energy or any other nutrients. So all these are interlinked. So undernutrition happens when we consume less amount of calories or less amount of nutrients. When we consume less macronutrients, especially energy, fat, and protein, so it leads to wasting and stunting and underweight. So wasting the people will be having low weight for their height according to the standards, and stunting, they will have low height for their age and underweight, low weight for age. And coming to overnutrition, overweight, obesity, and diet-related non-communicable diseases such as heart diseases, diabetes, cancers, liver disorders, all these leads to because of overnutrition. And micronutrient deficiency, especially anemia, iron deficiency anemia, vitamin B12 deficiency anemia, vitamin A deficiency, iodine deficiency. These are certain micronutrient deficiencies that we see in our population. So India is combating with the triple burden of malnutrition. We are suffering with undernutrition at the rate of overnutrition. Obesity is also increasing, and due to consumption of processed foods or fast foods availability and changing eating habits also leading to micronutrient deficiencies, and further it is deteriorating the health and performance outcome of our Indian population. So economically, we are affected with this triple burden of malnutrition, and growth of our country is also delayed. So each country is affected with malnutrition, and when you look at the graph, the India is suffering with a triple burden of malnutrition, which is at least a double burden, and burden mostly seen in South African countries and other countries like America, Europe, and America is suffering with at least one single burden, that is obesity, and European countries, they are suffering with at least one or two double burdens, and China at least one single burden, and Russia at least a double burden. So each country is having one or the other burden of malnutrition. So we are more affected with overweight and obesity and micronutrient deficiencies, but growth, undernutrition and obesity is at a faster rate and rate. Then coming to what are the impacts of malnutrition in all its forms, it can have human impacts as well as economic impacts. It can individually it will affect, and societally also, nationwide also, it will have huge impacts. So malnutrition leads to mortality, ill health, impaired physical growth, and impaired cognitive development. So because of mortality, the high costs for treatments, funerals, all that happening at individual level, and high fertility rates, loss of social fabric is leading, and loss of human capital nation, and ill health causing high costs and continuous burden of diseases and high health system and insurance costs, and impaired physical growth. It causes of potential at individual level, and high loss of productivity and income, high income output, and foregone. And coming to impaired cognitive development, it is affecting the reduced school attainment, and high rates of illiteracy, impaired social development, and high constraint to poverty reduction and developmental goals. So malnutrition in all its forms, either undernutrition, overnutrition, micronutrient deficiency, is affecting individual, societal, and nationwide problems or impacts. So who are mostly affected? Vulnerable groups, especially adolescent girls, pregnant women, lactating mothers, and children under the age of 5 years are mostly affected with this malnutrition. So it is alarmingly high in India in this population. So time trends in prevalence of nutrition indicators. So when we compare from 1985 to 2016 NNMB data or NFH data, so underweight and stunting is gradually reducing, but still we are having 36% of underweight and 38.4% of stunting and 20.6% of wasting, according to the latest information published in Indian Journal of Medical Research in 2018. So this data is reflects 2015 to 2016 NFH data. So we can see how much malnutrition is prevalent still in our country. So micronutrient deficiency related malnutrition, we find vitamin A deficiency, iodine deficiency, and anemia, iron deficiency anemia, or anemia because of other nutrients. So the prevalence of anemia, 58.6% of children 6 to 59 months are suffering with anemia. 53.1% of women aged between 15 to 49 years suffering with anemia, and 54% of pregnant women and 22.7% of men aged between 15 to 49 years are suffering with anemia. We all know that nutrition anemia is caused to deficiencies of iron, folic acid, and vitamin B12. So these figures are taken from NFHS 4. So coming to overnutrition itself, again a risk factor of obesity and associated diseases. And obesity is mother of all non-communicable diseases such as diabetes, cardiovascular diseases, cancers, arthritis, osteoarthritis. And global data says that 49 million deaths are caused by non-communicable diseases. 15 million population in the range of 30 to 69 years, and 85% in low and middle income countries are suffering with NCDs. And deaths from cardiovascular diseases, 17.9 millions, cancer 9.0 millions, respiratory diseases 3.9 millions, according to the global data. And in India, 4 million people in the age of 30 to 70 years are suffering with non-communicable diseases. Cardiovascular deaths are 28.1%, and respiratory diseases 10.9%, diabetes 3.1%, and diabetes, the occurrence prevalence is 3.4%, men 2.9%. So malnutrition, especially in terms of obesity and overweight, leading to cardiovascular, cancer, respiratory diseases, and death rates are also higher. So malnutrition and mortality in India, 68% of the deaths among children are under the age of 5 years. And malnutrition is also a leading risk factor of disease burden in persons of all ages, contributing to 17% of the total DALY, disability adjusted life years. So what are the contributing factors to malnutrition when we look at? So it is because of food security, gender inequality, breastfeeding and care practices, open defecation, household economic status, climatic conditions, lack of dietary diversity, unsafe water, educational status, poor hygiene and sanitation, processed foods especially which are having high fat, high sugar and high salt, urbanization and industrialization, and less physical activity. All these are contributing to malnutrition, either undernutrition or overnutrition or micronutrient deficiency. So the developed index, when we look at our India ranks 131 out of 188 countries. So our population have life expectancy, low life expectancy at birth, average education levels, and standard of living compared to the global data. So we stand at a poorer state when compared to other countries. And coming to hunger index, the latest data 2021 shows that previously in 2020 we were in 100th position. Now we have tipped up to 101 out of 116 nations. So we are placed under a serious category, and we are in Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Nepal. The hunger index is higher in our country. And this is about the population who are having undernutrition, overnutrition, and obesity. And when we take our sports population specifically, so medal tally in Olympics from 2012 to 2020, when we see, though we are progressing medal-wise, but in London 2020, India got 6 medals, and 2016 we got 2 medals, and whereas in the recent Olympics we got 7 medals. Though we are progressing, but when compared to other countries, we are very much lagging behind, and we need to progress in this area. And what are the reasons for poor performance when we look at that? Is because of ill health, undernourished, and they are not able to afford and recreational sport and competitive sports in the elite category. When they reach to elite category, so all these hurdles they have to bypass. So when they are undernourished and ill health, they won't be able to perform better, or they won't be they won't be able to continue the sport. And recreational sport, they just join for recreation, and after that they take it seriously and they become the elite athletes. So the line like we have to provide good nourishment to the kids or children, and we have to provide physical literacy among our population so that disease burden can be reduced and our performance also can be increased. We are having huge population in our country, but medal tally, when we look at, we show poor performance. So at ground level, from young age, we have to inculcate the habit of having physical activity. At every stage, we have to encourage them to participate in sports and providing better nourishment and better infrastructure and other factors which are associated with having a allied performance. So the influential factors for performance will be genetics, occupation, academics, social life, injury, training, sleep quality, duration, physical environment, coach-athletes relationship, and daily nutrition. Everything impacts the performance of an athlete. So we have to control all these, like we have to improve upon these factors, influential factors to improve the performance. So the daily nutrition, which plays a huge role, we have to, as a nutritionist, are to provide better nourishment. We have to look at this daily nutrition, how the athletes eating pattern or food behavior, whether they are consuming and meeting the energy demand and nutritional demand to perform that particular exercise and to improve upon their performance. Then what are the prevailing problems among sports person when we look at? So they are having nutrient deficiencies, sustainability energy levels during exercise, and relative energy deficiency in sports because of that, which will be affecting all their physiological parameters. Weight management is one problem, and because of poor nutrition and poor hydration status, it leads to injuries, recovery, travel, sleep. Vegetarian athletes, again, they will have micronutrient deficiency and protein deficiency because of poor planning, and female athletes especially suffer with micronutrient deficiencies. So these are the prevailing nutritional problems among sports person. We have to tackle them, providing better nutrition education and better nutrition intervention. So millets, these are one-stop solution to food and nutritional insecurity as well as sports performance. These are biodiversified crops. They are low pesticide crops and climate resilient, drought resilient. They require less water for irrigation, and they can grow in low fertile lands, and multiple securities they can have, especially the produce of the farmers. And they are storehouses of nutrition. Numerous health benefits millets have. So we have to promote millets to improve our nutritional status and to get health benefits, as well as to improve the performance of athletes. So because we in India, we have less fertile land and less irrigation facilities now, and water table is slowly reducing. So we have to depend in future on millets, and which was eaten from ages. Now it is not. Again, there is a need to revive um, So, key for health, according to ICMR National Institute of Nutrition, they have given my plate for day. In that, they have included, we have to consume millets also among the major like rice and wheat. Along with rice and wheat, we have to incorporate millets so that we will have dietary diversity along with fruits and vegetables, pulses, nuts, and oil seeds and milk. So, millets also plays a huge role in dietary diversity, and they are powerhouses of nutrition, and they have health benefits, and they have for food sustainability and the environmental condition. When we look at, so to provide benefits and to have food and nutritional security, we have to promote millets. Then coming to overview of millets, they are a group of highly small seeded grasses, widely grown around the world, as well as in India for food and as well as for fodder. So the government of India has renamed jowar, bajra, and other millets as nutri-cereals, since they are powerhouse of nutrient, dispensing the nomenclature coarse cereals. So now millets are called as nutri-cereals. Previously we used to call coarse cereals. Again, it can be divided into major millets and minor millets. Pearl millet, sorghum, and finger millets, they come under major millets, and barnyard millet, little millet, rosso millet, foxtail millet, millet, and brown top millets. These are powerhouses of nutrition. Each millet has a unique nutritional composition to serve the health benefits. So when we look at the nutritive value of millets compared to wheat and rice, the sorghum, it is having good magnesium content, and pearl millet is having high fat and dietary fiber and iron. Then coming to finger millet, it has calcium, it has magnesium, and kodo millet, it is rich in folic acid. Proso millet, it is rich in protein, it is rich in riboflavin, it is rich in niacin. And foxtail millet is rich in B1 vitamin, that is thiamine. And little millet and barnyard millet, they are rich in zinc. So, so they are powerhouses of micronutrients, and as well as protein and fat compared to wheat and rice. So non-visible visible fat is will be higher in millets when compared to wheat and rice. When we look at the amino acid profile, the millets are also comparable to wheat and rice. So when we look at the arginine content, rice 480 and wheat 20. So bajra and finger millets also, they are having comparable arginine content and histidine, lysine content, tryptophan, phenylalanine, tyrosine, methyl, methionine, cysteine, threonine, leucine, isoleucine, and valine. So leucine content also, it is higher in millets compared to rice and wheat. So amino acid profile also millets, like generally people have the notion, wrong notion of that millets are having less digestibility, and their amino acid content or amino acid profile is low compared to wheat and rice, and that they have poor digestibility. So protein content from we will not be able to retain the biological value will be less compared to rice and wheat. Such kind of discussions and debates are there. So comparable amino acid profile is present in millets, and digestibility of millets also can be increased with processing techniques. So health benefits, coming to health benefits of millets. Millets are alkaline foods. They can maintain pH and reduce abdominal discomfort. They are gluten-free and ideal for celiac patients. And they are prebiotic foods, healthy gut microflora for inner ecosystem. And they have low, slow release in carbohydrates. It prevents and controls obesity and diabetes. They are rich in antioxidants and phytochemicals, fights against free radicals. And high fiber prevents cancer, and cholesterol also, like it reduces, and high niacin contents cholesterol, and high calcium, high iron, zinc, and magnesium helps to maintain muscular nerve function. It decreases triglyceride and C-reactive proteins. There are numerous health benefits when we consume millets. So concern about bioavailability, as I said, millets are rich in phenols, phytates, and the oxalates, and there is a concern about the bioavailability of these nutrients. So it is a double-edged sword, reduces bioavailability of minerals like iron and zinc. So when we promotes health and acting against degenerative diseases. So for these, to get these benefit, processing methods such as soaking, germination, fermentation, malting, milling, flaking, and roasting improves this bioavailability. So phenols and phytates and the oxalates, they hinder the absorption of nutrients, but they also have positive effect. They can fight against free radicals. So when we have to improve the bioavailability or digestibility, we can go with these processing methods and we can improve the bioavailability. And what are the gaps in millet production and utilization and marketing? So ancient times we used to have millets. Now it is not available in our food plate, our nutrition plate, and our grandfathers ate and grandmothers ate millets, and our fathers, they say, we ate in our childhood. And when we look at how much grams of millets we are consuming per day, slowly it has gone from our plate. And again, there is a need to bring back millets to our plate. Why this decision was why it has gone, it has disappeared from our food stores as well as from our millet plates. So there are a lot of inconveniences, drudgeries involved in processing methods and consumption and consumption pattern. Previously, because of lack of processing technologies or processing methods, women used to be at home and she used to prepare food, and a lot of laborious work was involved, and so they were able to manage, though the drudgery was there. Now change of women role in the present society, she has to balance the family and work, so we are more dependent on processed foods, and lack of processing technologies and equipment also caused inconvenience in preparing millet foods, and unexploited nutritional merits of millets. So research data is less available on millets, and now millets, CRISAT and IIMR, NIN, and CFTRA and other national agencies, they are vigorously involved in creating data or providing the scientific evidence to disseminate the knowledge related to millet health benefits and nutritional benefits. And when we educate, as nutritionists, when we educate the population, you have to consume millets for health benefits and performance benefits, or having better nutritional composition, they say where it is available. It is not available in the stores. So, and again, market surplus is less due to low remuneration of farmers and supply chain issues. So we have to tackle this situation also. Though farmers produce, there are no buyers for millets. And when buyers are not there, the processing techniques are available, they definitely the production of millet foods, convenient millet foods, will be lesser. And changes in income and urbanization also cause, like I said, women role change in women role, and high incomes, they are more towards processed foods, high fat foods, high sugar foods, and change of lifestyles, going for parties in the weekends, and in a hurry to prepare breakfast or lunch. So we are more dependent on convenient foods, and changing consumer taste and preferences, and neglected policy front. So a lack of both input subsidizers like fertilizers, electricity, and irrigation. When we give some subsidies to farmers, they will be more happy to produce the millets rather than having subsidies. And PDS, public distribution system also, we get fine cereals like rice and wheat only. Now the government has changed the policies, are going to change the policies to have millets supply of millets through PDS system, and government has initiated a lot of steps to promote millets, and that because of that only in 2023 we are going to have International Year of Millets. And Modi ji, he is insisting upon consumption of millets for sustainable agriculture, environment, and protect food and nutritional security, and to achieve sustainable developmental goals. And lack of procurement system for millets through public agencies also is one of the problem. So though farmers are producing, procurement to public agencies also should be done. Then so these are the how we can tackle these challenges and how we can move forward. These are the views taken from Dr. B. Dayakar Rao, Principal Scientist and CEO, NutriHub, IIMR. The challenge is lack of seed quality material. We can strengthen the seed chain supply system and decreasing area, and we have to increase the productivity using various strategies and competing crops, better intercropping and better endowed areas we have to do for production in the case of production, and inclusion of millets in government programs, inequilibrium in the supply and demand of millets. So we have to balance the supply and demand of millets, buying millets from the farmers and supplying it to the consumers. Low aspirational value of millets limited from the household menu. So promoting millets as aspirational food and including all millets under MSP. So challenges are procurement in favor of paddy, wheat, and more states should include millets. So we have to ensure MSP for millets, and shortcomings in the implementation of MSP scheme, establish effective procurement pattern and timely payment to farmers, including localized procurement. And limited accessibility to public procurement centers. We have to sensitize farmers, local government around a change in MSP structure. Then coming to consumption of millets. So there are misconceptions. It's a ill person's diet which can be consumed for health problem and fitness purpose. So unlimited knowledge on recipes and cooking practices. The quality of millets in the market is challenged with limited procurement and processing facilities. So way forward is we have to brand millets vigorously through social media and print and electronic media. And we have to create awareness about nutrition and health factors. And we have to consider participation of government agencies, private sectors, NGOs, and in schools and colleges and universities at household level. We have to promote vigorously. And decentralization of value-added processing is also important to improve the consumption of millets. And how we can engage private sector in millet value chain. So limited credit channels for private entrepreneurs for ready-to-eat and ready-to-cook processing. Lack of decentralized production unit and significant price spread in the value addition chain, and low investment in processing facilities and limited marketing of millets. So we have to invite investments in millet processing or research development from the private sector, incentivize private sector participation in RTE, in the RTC segment, decentralized value-added processing. So when we involve private sectors and big players like Nestle or ITC or Britannia, so we have to invite them to prepare millet processed foods using processing techniques, and we have to encourage startups, especially women entrepreneurs and farmers also. If they want to produce foods, we have to provide financial linkages, and we have to fix the price for millets production or consumption, or buying of millets through various schemes. So coming to millet area in sports, how we can integrate millets in sports. So first we have to know whether the millets are going to improve the health and performance benefits. We all know that they are nutri-cereals, and their benefits also we have seen in general population, especially children midday meal program. Sorghum was supplemented and they have seen improved micronutrient status. And biofortified pearl millet, again in midday meal program, improved the micronutrient status in growth and development. So there are various studies conducted by CRISAT and IIMR and along with NIN. So they have seen positive results with the nutri-cereals millets. So here the lacuna is there. Sports, it is not yet established. And millets research, integration of millets in sports, we have to conduct research for better health, nutrition, performance benefits. And we can, through that, if the positive benefits we find, then it can be integrated in SAI flagship programs such as STC, SAG, Center of Excellence, and national camps. Even with the other ministry also, like through physical education or Ministry of HRD, it can be implemented through midday meal program. In schools, when now physical activity component has come, we have to give credits when they're involved in physical activity. So integration of coordinating with other ministries for integration of millets for better physical literacy and sporting performance. And we have to promote millets through sports personalities vigorously so that it can reach the wider section of population. They can become brand ambassadors in promoting the millets, millets, so that performance benefits can be improved. So International Year of Millets 2023, these are the objectives approved by FAO. The objectives are elevated awareness of the contribution of nutri-cereals for food and security and nutrition. So we have to inspire all stakeholders, international government to work towards improving production, productivity, and quality of millets. To draw focus for enhanced investment in R&D and extension services to achieve the first and second one, Babo. So together we have to promote millets for nutrition, health, and sports performance, so that our economic growth will be improved, our human capacity will be increased. So thank you very much. We all have to jointly promote food sustainability and strengthen the hands of millet stakeholders. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You have covered each and every aspect of this nutri-cereal millet. There are certain few questions in the comment section. If you would allow, I would like to put them.
Yeah.
Somebody has commented, as we in India are facing a huge problem of depletion of groundwater rapidly, consumption of millet can address this problem to a great extent. Your
Yes.
comments upon that?
Yes, definitely. Like I have, as I mentioned in my presentation, so water level is reducing in our country, and we are more dependent on rice and wheat, which requires more water. Millets requires less water for irrigation. So when we shift our like major cereal from rice and wheat to millets, definitely we will be using less water for our consumption. So like that we can save water.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today and covering this very, very important topic about millets and giving this much information to our viewers. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation on behalf of MDNIY and my own behalf. I would like to extend my gratitude to you. Thank you so much. I would also like to thank Communication and Documentation Officer of MDNIY, Mohammad Tayyab Alam sir, and our entire technical team for their technical support. Thank you all. Thanks to our viewers as well, that those have joined us today. And as per the tradition of our institute, let us end the program with Shanti Path.
Thank you.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति. Thank you once again, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.